Hello students, I hope you all are fine and in good health. So today we are going to start new chapter, chapter 7, green plants. Now let us discuss what we are going to study in this chapter. In this chapter we are going to study parts of a leaf, functions of leaves, stomata, photosynthesis, how do plants use their food, energy flow in living organisms, interdependence of plants and animals, and balance in nature. You all must have seen many kinds of plants in your surrounding. Some are tall like trees and some are short like shrubs and grasses. And most of them they are green in color. Do you know why they are green in color? They are green in color because of the presence of a green pigment called chlorophyll. And can you imagine life without plants? No, we cannot imagine our life without plants. Why? Because plants give us food and oxygen. Okay, so in this chapter, we will study about how plants give us food and oxygen, and we will also study about different parts of plants and their functions. So first we will start with structure of a leaf. Now here we will discuss about parts of a leaf. First one is leaf plate. Leaf plate is the flat part of the leaf and it is also known as lamina. Okay, and then next is stalk. Stalk is also known as petiole and it is the part with which the leaf is attached to stem. So we can say leaf is attached to stem with the help of stalk or petiole. Then next is main vein. You can see a line running through the middle of the leaf and this line is known as main vein and it is also called midrib. Okay, and you can also see some fine lines surrounding this main vein. So these are called side veins and these veins help to transport water, minerals and prepared food for the plant. So the function of main vein and side vein is to transport water, mineral and food for the plant. Now next we will discuss about functions of leaves. Okay, so we know that leaves make food for the plant. So they are also called kitchen or food factory of a plant. Okay, why they are called kitchen or food factory? Because they make food for the plant. And leaves also help plants to breathe through stomata and leaves give shape and color to the plant. The plant appears green because of the green leaves. Okay, so leaves give shape and color to the plants. Now next we will discuss about stomata. Do you know that tiny pores are present on underside of the leaves? And these tiny pores are called stomata. And why they are important? These tiny pores are important because a leaf takes in carbon dioxide and gives out oxygen and excess water vapor through this stomata. So we can say this is very important part of leaf because it helps in exchanging gases like carbon dioxide and oxygen. Now next we will discuss about photosynthesis. What is photosynthesis? It is a process by which green leaves make food with the help of carbon dioxide and water in the presence of sunlight and chlorophyll. Now let us try to understand how leaves make food. Okay. As we have already discussed that photosynthesis is the process by which leaves make food. Okay. So what happens in this process? We will discuss this in detail. We know that chlorophyll is already present in leaves. It is green pigment present in leaves and energy means sunlight is required in this process, and with the help of sunlight and chlorophyll leaves put together carbon dioxide and water to make food. Okay, carbon dioxide is taken in with the help of stomata. We have already discussed what is stomata. Stomata is tiny pores present on underside of leaves. Okay, and water is absorbed from the roots of the plant, and from the roots water is transported to stem and then it reaches to leaves. So with the help of carbon dioxide, sunlight, chlorophyll and water, leaf make food, and this food is in the form of simple sugar called glucose. So food is prepared in the form of glucose and oxygen is released in this process. Okay, so we can say this is the process of photosynthesis in which leaves take in carbon dioxide and water, and with the help of chlorophyll and sunlight, food is prepared by the leaves, which is in the form of glucose, and after that oxygen is released. Okay, when this food is prepared in the leaves, then this food is transported to all parts of the plant with the help of veins, main vein and side veins. So now we will discuss how do plants use their food. Okay, like us, plants also need energy and they also use their food to get energy. They burn it to produce energy and they use it for their growth and repairing damaged cells and tissues. Like us, we also need food for energy and for growth and for repairing our damaged cells and tissues. Similarly, plants also use that food to produce energy and for their growth and also to repair their damaged cells and tissues. And they store extra food in the form of starch in different parts. And these are stems, roots, leaves, etc. So they store their extra food in the form of starch in their different parts like leaves, stems and roots, and we eat these parts as our food. As we have discussed that plants store food in the form of starch. Okay, and we can also do test for starch by using iodine solution. If we take any food item like potato or anything having starch in it, and if we add iodine solution, then it will give blue black color. So this way we can test for presence of starch. And if we want to test for presence of starch in leaves, so we can do this in lab by boiling the leaf and bleaching the leaf in water and alcohol and then using iodine solution. If it will give blue black color, then this shows that leaves also contain starch. Now here we will study about some unusual plants. Okay, so first we will discuss about croton plant. Croton plant is a different plant. Why it is different? Because it is having red colored leaves. Okay, and these red color pigment present in these leaves hides the green color pigment present in the leaf. So this plant is having chlorophyll, but this is hidden by this red pigment. So this plant can make its own food because it has chlorophyll in them. Okay, and then next category of plants here we will discuss is mushroom. These depend on dead plants and animals for their food. They cannot make their food. Earlier they were considered in plants category, but now mushrooms are considered in different categories called fungi. Okay, then next type of plant here we will discuss is dodder plant. Dodder plant is also called amar bel in Hindi, and this plant is found hanging on other green plants, and this plant is not green in color, so they cannot make their own food, and they depend on other green plants for their food. So that's why they are dependent on other plants and they are found hanging on other green plants because they cannot make their food as they don't have green pigment or chlorophyll. So they derive their food from the host plant on which they hang. And next is cactus plant. You all must have seen cactus plants. These are also different types of plants. They are not having green leaves. Instead of leaves, they are having spines on them. Okay. And in this plant, the food is prepared by green fleshy stem. This stem is green and fleshy, so it has chlorophyll and it can prepare food for the plant. So in these types of plants, food is prepared by fleshy stems instead of leaves because leaves are absent in these plants. Okay, so all these were some unusual plants and they have some different characteristics. Next, we will discuss about energy flow in living organisms. We all know that on Earth, sun is the ultimate source of energy. Okay, so plants use this energy to make their food, and these plants, they are eaten by herbivores, and these herbivores like deer, they are eaten by carnivore. So this way we can say that energy of the sun is transferring from green plants to herbivores and then from herbivores to carnivores in the form of food. Okay, so this is known as food chain. So we can say food chain is the flow of energy in the form of food from one living organism to another. Here in this picture you can see grass is eaten by herbivore and herbivore is eaten by a carnivore. Okay, and this energy of the sun which is used by plants, this energy is getting transferred from producers, means from plants, to herbivores and then from herbivores to carnivores. Next we will discuss about interdependence of plants and animals. Okay, as we have already studied in this chapter that plants give us oxygen and food, right? So we depend on plants for oxygen and food, and in return we give out carbon dioxide, and this carbon dioxide is used by plants. So we can say plants and animals both are dependent on each other. Plants give us oxygen and food and we give carbon dioxide to the plants. So this way we can say plants and animals, they are interdependent. They depend on each other. Now next we will discuss about balance in nature. As we have already discussed that plants and animals, they depend on each other. Like plants, we depend on plants for food and oxygen, and plants depend on us for carbon dioxide because carbon dioxide is given by animals and human beings, and this carbon dioxide is used by plants. So we depend on each other. So this balance is in nature is very important. Balance means a balance between number of plants and animals is very important. If we increase number of animals, then there will not be sufficient oxygen and food supply for the animals, so it will be problem for everyone. And if we will increase the number of plants, then plants would not get sufficient carbon dioxide to make their food. So this way there should be proper balance between plants and animals. Okay, so to maintain this balance we need to protect both plants as well as animals. So this was the last topic. I hope you have understood all the topics of this chapter. Thank you.